Hey guys! I'm back with another BL review. Today, I'll be reviewing the BL series called Moonlight Chicken. Before we dive into the video, here's a quick disclaimer. All the opinions expressed in this video are my own, and I want to make it clear that I'm not trying to spread any hate towards the show or actors. I'm simply sharing my honest thoughts about what I liked and disliked, as everyone is entitled to their own opinion. If you happen to disagree, feel free to leave a comment down below. This video contains spoilers, so if you haven't seen the show yet or plan to watch it, I recommend clicking off the video. Jim, also known as Uncle Jim, is an ordinary guy who runs a chicken rice diner. One night, he encounters a drunken Wen who stays past closing time. Uncle Jim takes a drunken Wen home, and their passionate one-night stand leaves them both captivated. Bound by fate that night, they start to develop indescribable feelings for each other. However, Jim tries to keep his emotions detached as he is still recovering from a previous relationship, and Wen hasn't completely severed ties with his ex, Alan. At the diner, we meet Jim's nephew, Li Ming, along with Leng and Gaipa, who is their occasional chicken supplier and harbors a crush on Uncle Jim. Li Ming, who was entrusted to his uncle's care, struggles with school, which leads to conflicts between him and Uncle Jim. Despite their differences, Li Ming helps out at the diner during his free time. One day, while making a delivery, he meets Hart, a hearing-impaired boy. A mishap with a bottle of liquor forces Li Ming to work for Hart's family, and during this time, they grow closer, causing more complications in his relationship with his uncle. I would rate this series a solid 10 out of 10. Initially, when I watched the trailer, I was only interested in Hart and Li Ming's characters. However, I'm happy that I decided to give the rest of the show a chance because it exceeded my expectations and quickly claimed a spot in my top 10 favorite BLs. Now, let's delve into some of the aspects that I enjoyed the most about Moonlight Chicken. Number 1. The plot. This show touched on a diverse range of topics that are not typically explored in BL dramas. Personally, I get tired of watching the same high school and college storylines repeatedly. It was refreshing to see a show that delved into real-life issues. For instance, Moonlight Chicken talked about the financial devastation caused by the pandemic, which resulted in many individuals losing their businesses, homes, and more. The series also shed light on the challenges faced by individuals with disabilities and the struggles they encounter within their families. Moonlight Chicken talked about various other subjects, such as unexpected pregnancies, homophobia within families, and grief. One element that I particularly liked was Uncle Jim's backstory and the repercussions he faced after the passing of his ex-partner. Due to the fact that Jim and Beam wasn't married and his name wasn't on anything when he passed, Uncle Jim was left with nothing but the cat. I found this interesting because, as you guys know, same-sex marriage is not yet legal in Thailand. Number 2. The acting. The entire cast of the show did an exceptional job in expressing their emotions. I expected nothing less from earthmix and First because they eat in every show they're in, but the ones who stood out the most for me was Fourth and Khao. This is the first show I have seen Fourth in, and he surprised me with how good his acting was, especially with him being a newcomer and acting alongside some of GMMTV's best actors, but he held his own and delivered an amazing performance. I first watched Khao in 1000 Stars, where I liked his character, but Moonlight Chicken provided a greater opportunity to witness his acting skills, which truly blew me away. In particular, the hospital scene following his mother's death stands out as one of the best acting moments I've witnessed in a BL series. The raw emotion he portrayed in that scene moved me to tears. Another one of my favorite scenes was when Uncle Jim told Gaipa that there was no chance for a romantic relationship between them. In a mere 10 seconds, you saw an array of different emotions go across his face. Khao ate and left no crumbs. Number 3. The chemistry. Every cast member showed great chemistry with one another, even the couples who were not the main focus of the series. As the show went on, I found myself forming 3 new ghost ships, and now I low-key want to see First and Mix star in a BL together. Number 4. Hart and Lee Ming. I'm not sorry to say this, but Hart and Lee Ming stole the whole show. That's not to say the main couple didn't do well, but as the show aired, I found myself more drawn to their storyline. Watching these two develop a genuine friendship and then gradually fall in love was heartwarming to witness. What touched me the most about their relationship was Lee Ming's dedication to learning sign language in order to communicate with Hart, even when his own parents couldn't. Lee Ming genuinely cared for Hart and didn't see him as someone with a disability that needed to be kept hidden from the world. One of my favorite scenes in the show is when, after Hart confronted his parents about their mistreatment towards him, Lee Ming comforted him and no conversation was needed between the two, and you could just feel the emotions through the screen. Another one of my favorite scenes was when Hart spoke for the first time in the show, and to see Lee Ming's excitement in the moment was great to watch. Gemini and Fourth are 2 charismatic young men who have undeniable on-screen chemistry, and I do hope they continue to work together in the future. Number 5. Uncle Jim and Lee Ming's relationship. Uncle Jim and Lee Ming had a complicated relationship, and I loved every aspect of it. Uncle Jim often projected his own insecurities onto Lee Ming, who simply wanted to live life on his own terms. While Uncle Jim wanted him to go to college and have a better life than what he had growing up. Lee Ming, on the other hand, knew what he wanted, and that was to leave Thailand and go work in America to make money. I feel like a lot of Uncle Jim's insecurities stemmed from his sister, Lee Ming's mother, who disapproved of Uncle Jim's homosexuality. When Uncle Jim witnessed Lee Ming and Hart sharing a kiss, he began to blame himself, feeling as though his own sexuality had influenced Lee Ming's choices. Despite all the arguments they had, I admired how Lee Ming never swayed in what he wanted, and Uncle Jim realized that he couldn't live Lee Ming's life for him, and that his role was to support him unconditionally and allow him to make his own decisions. Number 6. Alan and Gaipa. Despite having little to no screen time together, the moments shared by these 2 characters was nice to watch. It was heartwarming to witness how they found each other when they needed each other the most. However, one thing I didn't like was the decision to use Gaipa's mother's passing as a means for these 2 characters to meet and form a relationship. Apart from that, First and Khao Tung have fantastic chemistry in Moonlight Chicken, and it makes me want to give The Eclipse a chance just so I can see more of it on my screen. Now, let's move on to something that I didn't particularly like but also didn't not like. Uncle Jim and Wen. I feel that the writers may have focused too much on the plot when it came to Uncle Jim and Wen's relationship. While I did enjoy their storyline, once the conflicts involving Alan and Uncle Jim's ex were resolved, I had hoped for more moments showcasing their love as a couple. Although I appreciated Wen's pursuit of Uncle Jim, it seemed to represent the dynamic of their entire relationship throughout the show. I did, however, like how they provided comfort to each other and sought solace in one another whenever they needed advice or simply wanted to talk. I don't think the writers did earthmix justice with this storyline because I feel like their chemistry was underutilized. Now, let's move on to the things I did dislike, and to be honest, there was only one thing that didn't sit right in my soul about this show, and it was when the writers tried to make Alan out to be the villain of the show, but the whole time the real villain was Wen. One Night with Uncle Jim had my boy Wen acting totally different, which is understandable when discovering a new love. However, the way Wen treated Alan after getting involved with Uncle Jim was terrible. Despite their breakup, Wen continued to string Alan along by living together, engaging in sexual activities, and even sharing the same bed. His actions contradicted his words, as he claimed to have moved on while still maintaining a close and intimate relationship with Alan. instead of openly communicating and explaining that their romantic relationship had ended. Wen resorted to hurtful remarks to try and explain why he did not love him anymore, and when Alan expressed his jealousy over Wen and Uncle Jim's relationship, he acted confused as to why he was acting the way he was. Now, I don't agree with Alan's actions at all, but I do understand them. In the end, Wen's persistence paid off as he succeeded in winning over Uncle Jim and ending his relationship with Alan. However, I feel like he was a selfish character who wanted his cake and to eat it too. In my opinion, this show was an absolute delight from start to finish. The episode count was perfectly balanced, allowing the story to be told without feeling rushed or dragging. I do wish they would have established the timeline a little bit more. What truly made me fall in love with this show was the outstanding acting and undeniable chemistry among the cast members, with the plot serving as an additional bonus. However, I wouldn't recommend this show to everyone. It may not appeal as much to those who are used to lighthearted BLs, as it presented a more mature storyline that resonates better with adults who can relate more to the struggles depicted. Nevertheless, the writers did make an effort to include elements that everyone could enjoy. While I would have liked to see more of Alan and Gaipa's story, as well as Hart and Li Ming's journey, I believe the show wrapped up on a satisfying note, giving each character a well-deserved happy ending. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and if you agree or disagree with anything I said, feel free to leave a comment, and if you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more reviews.